Sniffly nose. Good morning. I'll come a little bit closer. Good morning, chat room. Howdy, howdy. Zep, hi. Hi, Zep. How are you? Rud, hi.
Coffee is my blood.
Cheers on. It's good. Fair. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. You can hear Zaya's here as well. Hi, 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 hi.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, most definitely. Hear me just fine? Excellent. I did some slight tweaks to the audio to see if I could just make it a little bit better. So I'm hoping it's all okay. I'm not at full volume yet. Husband is not awake, so I might be a tad lower than usual, but I'll try and play it off. We'll see how it goes anyway. Alright, chat room, we've got that. I think I've got everything. If I've missed anything news-wise, guys, can you throw it in the chat? It's been a bit of a week. Anyway, let's do this. It is... always, always. Alright, it's 9 a.m. Good morning, Chris. Let's do this. In 3, 2, 1.
Whatever it is you enjoy about the World of Warcraft, we have a challenge for you. Adventure.
Flowers.
This is the WoW Challenges podcast. And here's your host, Leeta.
Hello and welcome to the WoW Challenges podcast. I'm your host, Leeta. This is episode 334 on Saturday, April 22nd, 2023. Welcome, chat room. Hi, everyone listening. Thanks for joining me today. Yes, it's a solo show. Yes, it's not going to be a long show. Australian internet has been very... what's the kind word? It's not been good. So at this stage, I'm just trying to not have multiple piecing together of audios and shows, etc. But we will see how we go. So, if anything happens, I will be back as soon as I can, but yeah, so hopefully we can do this in like a one shot. Anyway, chat room, hello. Everyone's very busy having a chat storm up there, which is fantastic. Who's here? We've got Fair, Chris, Zaya, welcome. We've got Rud, we've got Zap. Zep, you need to make a tune called Zap. Just thought of it then. Welcome anyone else that might be here. Welcome to the show. Thank you for giving up of some of your time to join me today. Alright, let's get into it. Chris says that works too. Excellent. Alright, very briefly, I did get to play some of my Pacifist this week, which was good. Not a lot. I've not had time to do much WoW at all. Again, we've been severely understaffed at work, so Work's been kicking my ass very badly. Which is fine. It is what it is. Gotta work to do these things. So, that's okay. I just have not had time to do much. But I have been slowly working on my Tauren Druid the last couple months. Very slowly. But she dinged 58 a few days ago, which was very exciting. So I'm like, yes, she's slowly getting there. So I've just mostly been trying to work on doing the dailies over at Thunderbluff because it's Thunderbluff. I know some people might think Thunderbluff is not a very good place for you to be, Leeta, considering the amount of times that you fall off things, but Thunderbluff is not too bad, and I do have my Druid flight form hotkeyed. so yes, so we're slowly but surely doing that. And I was able to get a little bit of Noble Garden, where I went down to Bloodhoof and did a couple of the quests down there on her, which was good. It was very helpful, and obviously having a little bit of rested XP helps as well. So but that's pretty much all I got done. So I'm happy with that. They're slowly, but surely, very slowly, making their way towards max level. So yeah, and I think she's my one and only druid, isn't she? I can't remember. Or do I have another one? Fair says my passy druid probably passes you in the night. She lives there too. Yes. Sometimes I see you on. Sometimes I don't. Absolutely. Will be exciting when the patch 10.1 comes in, which is hang on, where are we? A week and a bit. Cross faction guilds, mixed guilds, yes, is very exciting. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really hoping, and I think this would be something that would be fantastic also for teams, and obviously teams is not ready yet, but at the moment, say for my husband and I to group up when he's on his main and I'm on my main, which one of each faction, so he's Alliance, I'm Horde. We can obviously go and do some stuff, but for questing per se, it's very limited. As we know, it's very limited to be able to do those things. If we were doing dungeons, yes, they've had this in for some time to be able to do dungeons with both factions, which again would work for teams and be a bit of a trial, I'm sure, but would be nice though to be able to have like proper questing with the cross factions, and I wonder if that will be something that might come in now that they're bringing in the cross faction guilds. We've already got cross faction dungeons in place, so I suppose TBD, we'll see. Yeah, fair. I wish they would allow that. I think it would be easier, and especially we are getting teams ready to go, and it would be very exciting to see a cross faction team go forward and be able to make it to max level. That obviously once teams are ready, but that would be exciting. So I guess we wait and see. We wait and see. All right. Cross factions? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark? Possibly, Zai. Hang on, let me write it down so I'll try and remember. Cross factions. Yeah, Chris, I agree. She says so excited for cross factions. It's been a long time coming. Now, what is this? We're coming up to our, 20th anniversary this year? Brilliant. Can we all just get along? Yes, I think quite a few of us have been saying that for some time. I know I have. I like that. Let me write that one down. Can we all just get along? And you know what? We might talk about that a bit more next week, considering with the patch 10.1 is coming out. I wasn't going to do so much of that today, but, thoughts that fly through my head right at, going live time. That's what you get. So yeah. So I guess we will see, but it would be very exciting to be able to have a bit more options. We seem to be working more together as factions. I think the old days, especially those that have played from vanilla, where it was very centric to being faction pride, hugely being faction pride. And I even remember back then that if one of your friends left your faction to go play the other faction, it was highly controversial. I always thought, and of course back then you couldn't have the same factions on the same realm, so you had to jump over to a completely different realm. Alliance isn't just for 12-year-olds anymore. Exactly. Oh, I remember those days so well, Chris says. It's, like, what are we? We're a 20-year-old game. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But I don't know about you guys. I'm assuming everyone here is still playing. Hopefully still loving playing World of Warcraft. I do. My time has been very limited of late. Well, it's been for a while, but we go through cycles. Don't we? It's a bit like seasons. We go through that. Zaya says, I've always had two mains, one human and one orc. Awesome. I love that, Zaya. Mind you, you are, like, your level of being an alcoholic is up here. A bit like my husband. You guys are, like, up here. And here I am, barely touching any of my alts. And flat out trying to just play my main at times. I feel I am a bad alcoholic at times. It's yes. Fair says, so hard to believe it's been almost 20 years. I know. I was talking to one of the guys from work Friday afternoon, and as you do, what you doing on the weekend, you having a good weekend, what's it up to. And because I normally say, I've got stuff to do on Saturday, I've got a podcast, and I normally just say I've got a podcast to do on Sunday, so that keeps me fairly busy. And, some people just kind of let it slide, because whether they know what a podcast is or not, I don't know. Some people go, podcast? What do you mean you do a podcast? So then invariably that starts a whole conversation of, well, I live stream because I run a community. And the first thing he said to me, oh, so what, you play Call of Duty? And I'm like, no. No, I play World of Warcraft. He goes, I've never played it. I think my brother does. I've heard of it. I said, I've been an undead warlock for about 20 years. So we had a nice little, like a gaming chat for about, a few minutes while I'm sorting out mail and all that kind of thing. So, yes, Aprillian says, for the Horde, always and forever. Absolutely. Chris, I feel so behind for this patch. I feel so behind for this expansion. Actually, even for the end of last expansion, seriously, I look at things and go, I need to go back to doing that, but, chasing the mounts in Zeth Mortis, and I'm just like, hi, yeah, one day. One day. So it says, I hate to have an alt not at max level. Somehow I think we all agree, Zaya, that would be, you love to chase that. So I think that's great. Fair. So hard to believe it's been almost 20 years. My husband's main was always a Tauren and me a Night Elf. I love that. It's amazing what, opposing factions do. And as most of you guys know, obviously, Execute and I are coming up to being 2 years married in a couple months. And this is how we met. And, again, for those of you that were there for the wedding or saw the live stream, etc., it was part that played within the wedding of being that opposing the opposing factions and how it brought us together. How on earth was that 2 years ago? I know, right? 2 years. Coming up to our 2-year wedding anniversary, which is cotton. So, yeah. So there you go, some fun facts about Leeta. But, yeah, it's crazy. Time does fly. Time does fly. Again, we're nearly at the end of April. I swear to God. Like, weren't we just starting January, like, a week or so ago? Time is something that goes very fast unless you watch it. Zaya said, yep. Agreed. What do they say? A watched kettle never boils. Is it that one? A watched pot never boils, something like that. I know my grandma used to say that a bit when we do cooking, baking, back when I was a kid. But yes, no, watching the pots, absolutely fair. So yeah, so it's is interesting. Even, I don't know if you guys find those that work or that have worked, that there are currently some days that you just like start the day, then you kind of get to lunchtime and you're like, wow, that the morning's gone, what have I done? You've done lots, but it really doesn't feel like it. And then the next thing you're like, I've got half an hour left. I'm still trying to play catch up some days. It's how it feels at work at the moment. It's just like it's all going on. But yeah, I guess it's good to be busy, right? Anyway, there we go. Some chat time with Leeta. That's what we'll call that. Anyway, let's get on to the news. Where's my little bumper?
Breaking down news from the world of Warcraft.
Rogue Slayer, sending much love out to her and Julie. I think they're busy renovating and doing all sorts of fun things over where they are, so sending much love to them. Alright, the only things I had down for news, there's just a couple of things, and really probably I just wanted to more give you guys like the heads up, so I'll mention it next week's show as well. But Volunteer Guard Day is coming up from the 28th to 29th of April, so please, pop that in your calendar. Be aware that it is coming up. It's not this week, but again, just making sure. So if you're in Stormwind or Orgrimmar during those time, obviously Pacifists, you don't want to be around that. I must admit, I'm just trying to think if I did it last year on Leeta. I know I did the previous year. I can't remember. I may have gone and killed like the 10 guards or whatever the quest thing is. But obviously, just again, be careful. So if this is a prep week to be ready for next week, you might want to focus more on maybe pacifists this week, so you're not taking them out so much in those couple of days next week. That might be way. That's probably what I would look at. That's if I can get time to sit down and get in the game. Chris says, can't wait to slay invaders. Who's the invader, Chris? Is it like Darth Invader? I don't have it, no. I was gonna say, I need one of those things, I can't do it. I can't do voices, you guys know that, but just think of Darth Vader. if he goes to Stormwind, yes. Alright. Obviously, Leeta's in a funny mood today. Also, another thing to keep you in forethought. Children's Week begins May 1st. So, that's going to be fun. When does patch 10.1? Is that May 2? I'm just trying to think if that was May 1 or May 2. I wonder if the patch it back the next day. It is May 2. Okay. Alright. Patch. Okay. It'd be interesting to see if maybe they move Children's Week. Normally, they've been changing things around. Yeah. Annoying that it's at the same time. You know what, fair? Good point. Let's have a look. Let's have a quick look on Wowhead right now. Bear with me. I can never find anything fast. What did we say? Children's Week. Good old Children's Week. Alright, they've got it down. No, the Wowhead Children's Week info at the moment says 10 AM starts on the 1st of the 5th and ends 10 AM the 8th of the 5th. So, looks like there's probably no difference. I thought maybe they might have, they might have changed things around, but I guess we wait and see. So again, heads up for those that want to utilize Children's Week with your challenge tunes for doing the quest, taking the, the little children around to the various places. 1st to the 8th, Chris. Are you in game? What does in-game calendar say? If I may. If anyone's in game, can you check that? Okay, in-game says the same. Alright, so then I'm guessing them not moving it because even though patch is coming in. So that's interesting. Mind you, again, we know that as challenge players, quite often utilizing the world events, obviously not for bloodthirsties, sorry bloodthirsties, there is never any love for bloodthirsty tunes when it comes to world events. We know that. But world events become very lucrative for a challenge tunes. So things like, you're starting off a new challenge tune. We've got the fact that every month we have got Darkmoon Fair. Fantastic. If I could have an in at Darkmoon Fair, I would have every single challenge tune there, that even if I only could log into them once a month, that's where they would be. Fantastic. And obviously all your other alts getting down there, get, a little bit of bonus for your skills for those that have crafting. It's very helpful. And it's just a fun place. It's, it's very carnival-y. It's Darkmoon Fair music, very iconic. I think we all agree with that. And then we've got the world holidays that happen, the world events that happen every year. Things like Children's Week, obviously Noble Garden, that comes very much into play, in particular for most of the challenge tunes, or for the challenges that we have. So to be able to do the world events on a challenge tune with, would we say, minimal, what's the word I'm looking for? Chances of there being, I guess, a death. Getting some minimal risk. Thank you, Faye. You knew exactly what I was talking about. I think is definitely a great benefit for us, for our challenge tunes. So, it's really good. It's very good. So, in fact, we've got Children's Week. It will be very good for, obviously, our irons. Passies, not too bad. I don't think we can do a lot of things, but there are some things that we can do. Irons, Working Man Green, obviously fantastic for when teams are back up. Again, teams would be fantastic. So, so we do love them. We do love having the world events, which is fantastic. So yeah, so Children's Week is coming. Versus manageable risks, at least for passies, is procs kills aren't very manageable. Yeah. Passies is probably the only one that I would say out of all the challenges that we have that can do world events, there is that higher risk. Because again, as we know, procs kills. All you need, and it is so finicky, with like just people killing around you, and all of a sudden you're not doing anything and you get aggro. The amount of times that happen, even like Voidy's not even doing anything. I swear, Voidy's like, oh, I'm not interested, and all of a sudden, someone's hit something over there, and I'm within, I don't know, I'm gonna say maybe 20 meters, 30 meters in game, and all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, I'll take you on as well. It's like, this is not my fight. This is not my fight. Leave me alone. And there are other people doing those holiday events. Hard to avoid them. Absolutely. I must admit, I don't know if you guys, and this is what I was going to ask you earlier, but world events definitely has dwindled over the years for the amount of people doing them. I think there's still those bunch of hardcore people that do them. Like, I think there's only one. What was the one that I did not do?